So let's picture this. We're following Kesser and Steen, and there's this big storm rolling in, right?
Hey,
And they're rushing, absolutely rushing, to grab all these cherry tomatoes from the garden. Loads of them, but many are still, really green.
the classic end-of-season dilemma.
Exactly. And their plan is, well, pretty simple. Bring them inside, stick them on a windowsill with a ripe apple, and hope they turn red.
It's a common trick. But before we even get to how they turn red, we should probably talk about what's going on inside those little green guys.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, it's fascinating, actually. When they're green like that, unripe tomatoes are technically toxic.
Toxic. Seriously. Like, don't eat them toxic.
Well, in large quantities, yes. They contain much higher levels of compounds called glycoalkaloids, specifically solanine and tomatine.
Wow, okay. So poison, why?
It's basically the plant's defense mechanism. A brilliant one, really. It stops animals, or us, from eating the fruit before the seeds inside are mature and ready.
Little bodyguards for the seeds. Okay, that makes sense. But the sources are clear, right? This toxicity disappears as they ripen.
Oh, absolutely. As the tomato matures and turns red, those compounds break down naturally. Completely safe then.
Phew. Okay, so Kesser and Steen are trying to speed that process up, which leads us to the big question for this deep dive. Why does this apple trick work so well for tomatoes, but, say, if you tried it with grapes, nothing would happen?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the core of it. And the answer really comes down to one key thing. A tiny gas molecule called ethylene.
Ethylene, I think I've heard of that. Isn't it like a plant hormone?
Exactly. It's a natural plant hormone, and it acts as a signaling gas. Think of it as the ripening trigger. It tells the fruit cells, okay, time to mature.
So it kicks off a whole chain reaction. What kind of changes are we talking about?
Several big ones all at once. It signals the breakdown of chlorophyll.
That's the green stuff.
Right, the green stuff goes away, allowing the red or yellow pigments to show through. It also triggers enzymes that soften the fruit cell walls.
Making it less crunchy, more juicy.
Precisely. And crucially for taste, it starts the conversion of starches and those sharp organic acids into sugars and volatile compounds.
Sugars and aromas. Basically everything that makes a tomato taste like a tomato.
You got it. Ethylene orchestrates that whole transformation.
Okay, but back to the grape question. If ethylene is the key, why doesn't picking a grape and putting it with an apple make it sweeter?
That's because fruits fall into two main categories, climacteric and non-climacteric. And it's a really important distinction.
Climacteric. Okay, what's that?
Climacteric fruits, like tomatoes, bananas, and apples, actually produce a burst of ethylene themselves as they ripen. And crucially, they continue to ripen and respond to ethylene even after they've been picked.
Ah, so they can finish the job off the vine.
Exactly. But grapes, citrus fruits, berries, they're non-climacteric. They ripen, but they don't produce that ethylene burst, and their ripening process essentially stops once you pick them. They won't get any sweeter or develop more flavor.
So a picked grape is done developing, but a picked green tomato still has potential.
Precisely. It's biologically programmed to keep ripening if the conditions are right.
And that's where Kesser and Steen's apple comes in.
Yes. The ripe apple is also climacteric, remember? So it's naturally releasing its own little cloud of ethylene gas.
Like a little ripening booster pack.
You could call it that. By putting the green tomatoes with the ethylene-producing apple, especially, say, in a paper bag, to trap the gas slightly,
You concentrate the signal.
you concentrate the signal, exactly. And it tells the tomato cells to kickstart their own ripening process much faster. Add a little warmth, like from a windowsill, though it's mainly the temperature, not the light itself, and that speeds up all those chemical reactions.
So depending on how green they were, they could ripen in days, maybe weeks.
Correct. It's just harnessing the tomato's natural ability.
It's also interesting that Kesser and Steen even had so many healthy tomatoes late in the season. The sources mention Oma's garden avoided blight, that Phytophthora infestans. Is that related to the tomato's internal defenses?
Not directly the solanine, but it speaks to the overall health of the system. Oma's success there is put down to really good gardening practices.
Like what?
Primarily, incredibly healthy soil, rich compost, using things like seaweed and eelgrass. That creates a really diverse microbial environment in the soil.
Ah, so the good microbes kind of outcompete the bad ones, like the blight fungus.
That's a big part of it, yes.
Mhm.
Plus, good air circulation around the plants, and using healthy saved seeds or seed potatoes probably helped avoid introducing the disease. It's like building a strong immune system for the whole garden.
Right, so defense on the outside from the soil and defense on the inside with those toxins in the green fruit. Okay, so Kesser and Steen are basically using the tomato's natural climacteric ability, giving it a nudge with ethylene from the apple and some warmth.
Uh,
And they prefer a slower ripening, right? Like 15, 17 degrees Celsius.
Yes, a gentle natural pace, which is quite a contrast when you think about how this same science, ethylene, is used commercially.
how so?
Well, take apples again. They're climacteric too. Commercially, they're often picked, then stored in essentially gas-controlled warehouses for months, sometimes up to 14 months.
14 months, wow.
Yeah. Then, when needed, they're exposed to ethylene gas to force ripen them quickly just before they hit the supermarket shelves.
So that perfect-looking apple you buy in, say, April, might have actually been picked the previous summer.
It's entirely possible. It makes Kesser and Steen's windowsill method seem positively fresh, doesn't it? Leveraging the same plant hormone, but in a much simpler, slower way.
Definitely gives you something to think about next time you're looking at that flawless fruit display, wondering just how long ago its journey really began.